Pay more attention to your schoolwork and less to the radio.
You always listen to the radio.
It's different. Our lives are ruined already. You still have a chance to grow up and be somebody.
When I was a kid growing up in the early 80s, we didn't have a television in the house. While the other kids learned about Madonna and Van Halen and Michael Jackson from MTV, at least up on the mountain we still had the radio. And the radio, besides connecting us from the middle of nowhere to presumably the rest of the planet, the single most important function of the radio when we were children was giving us the good news that we would have the day off from school.
I got a thing just for you. Whoa, who are you?
My fixation with radio and love of music continued through my teenage years, through college, and then even today.
All right, Cincinnati, it is time for this town to get down.
Your local DJ was a tastemaker, a trusted confidant, a news anchor, a personality. You'd fall asleep at night listening to them, and you'd wake up and listen to them in the morning.
Good morning, Vietnam!
In this modern day and age, I didn't think anything like that still happened.
It was true yesterday, and it will still be true tomorrow. There's no place like Nantucket. True Island Radio. 97.7 ACK FM.
In May of 2012, 97.7 ACK FM went on the air on Nantucket Island, Massachusetts. Nantucket is an island located about 30 miles south of Cape Cod, Massachusetts. The author Herman Melville, who wrote Moby Dick, says, "Nantucket, take out your map and look at it. See what a real corner of the world it occupies, how it stands there, away offshore." Inspired by its independence and isolation, author Ralph Waldo Emerson dubbed it the Nation of Nantucket, and it's historically had a very independent streak. They negotiated their own treaty in the War of 1812 so they could resume their essential and lucrative whaling business. In the early 19th century, whale oil was used in everything from perfumes to candles to soap, and whalebone was used in women's hoop skirts and corsets. Fortunes could be had for the brave and the lucky, but for many, it was simply the only career path in town. But by the late 19th century, when oil was found in Pennsylvania and gold was found in California, and sister cities on the mainland now had access to a new railroad system, Nantucket saw its whaling empire on the decline. Nantucket Island spent the 20th century reinventing itself as an upscale vacation destination, but not without threatening to secede from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts 3 times in 1937, 1957, and 1977. Hey, you just can't beat free publicity.
Where do you find the world's biggest little radio station? On the world's biggest little island. Nantucket's 97.7 ACK FM.
Until 2012, Nantucket did not have a radio station to call its own. The local founders of the radio station felt that the island needed a radio station focused solely on Nantucket that would provide information and entertainment to island residents and visitors, while also being a consistent year-round companion to truly serve the community located 30 miles out to sea.
Good morning. This is meteorologist Russ Murley, and here's your island forecast. Areas of dense
It's not that Nantucket can't receive radio stations from the mainland, but one, I don't think anybody on Nantucket Island cares about Boston traffic reports, and two, the majority of commercial radio stations in Boston are owned by iHeartMedia, a behemoth company based in San Antonio, Texas.
iHeartMedia, mostly music radio, said this week it was laying off 30% of its workforce nationwide, abruptly removing the blogs and bios of some of its biggest personalities, including WBZ Radio's John Keller. In a tweet, Keller said Wednesday would be his last radio commentary, commentaries that BZ listeners set their schedules by every morning. iHeart thinks everyone is expendable.
You know, Callie, when I was first looking at this, I said, oh, well, ho-hum, this is yet another layoff story. But it's not. This is about local communities.
What's scarier is that they're going to mush together some kind of generic thing which they feed out.
They're squeezing as much profits as they can out of these stations for a few years, and then they're going to walk away. So they don't care how dull this is.
Just as we don't see many locally owned banks anymore, and the largest media titans are gobbling up less giant media titans, commercial FM radio has not been spared from this process. Of the 6,613 commercial FM radio stations in the country, I could only find 6 that are still locally owned and operated. Now that I think about it, it really shouldn't have surprised me that a unique, ruggedly individual island with a strong independent streak would have created its own radio station to serve its needs.
97.7 ACK-FM. It is the chef, Chris Morris, tagging back in here. That's right, kids. The kitchen is open once again. I have missed you all so very much. Thanks for joining me. I got a great show, 2 to 6. That's my...
In between the songs are local DJs, interviews with community leaders, live local surf reports, daily tides and fishing reports. They play Nantucket-made music and have local artists come into the studio to perform.
That was Jack Johnson. You know, he used to chase my daughter all over the north shore of Oahu back in the day. And right now, here's Tame Impala.
It's powerful how a song can take you back to a certain place and time. Maybe your childhood or your wedding, or maybe something completely random like your first time on a new island. I get down to Nantucket once a year if I'm lucky, and ACK-FM and its music are as strong a memory for me every time as the surf and the sand and the sunsets.
I am Samantha Steele, and good morning on a beautiful Tuesday here on Nantucket. The weather is warm, the beaches look great, and I think this next song is the definition of the day today. The Beatles with Here Comes the Sun.
From what I've seen and what I've learned, Nantucket seems to own itself, and who better to control the public airwaves than the residents themselves?